This is the story of Peter Pan, the boy who never grew up and had adventured with the Darling family. The Darling family lived in a quiet street in London. There were Mr. and Mrs. Darling. Good evening. Good evening. And their three children, Wendy, John and Michael, and the children's nanny, a dog called Nana. Peter Pan chose this house because in it were people who believed in him. The boys made a hero of all the nursery games. Wendy the elf knew everything about Peter Pan. Peter Pan was a boy who decided never to grow up. He lived far, far away in Neverland.
Every evening, Wendy would tell her brother stories about Peter Pan's marvellous adventures with bears and Indians. Peter Pan himself would often just hide outside the nursery window with his pixie Tinkerbell and listen to the stories.
When one particular night, Peter Pan overheard Wendy telling her brother some very unhappy news. This would be her last night in the nursery. Wendy dear, it's time you had a room of your own. This will be your last night in the nursery.
Peter hated children growing up and couldn't let this happen, so he burst into the nursery and told Wendy that he would take her to a land where she would never have to grow up. Wendy agreed to come, but only if her brothers could come too. He was going to take them away with him to Neverland, where they would never have to grow up.
But how were they going to fly? All it took was a happy thought and a little pixie dust. Before they knew it, the excited children were soaring high above the rooftops of London. Don't be afraid. Second star to the right, straight on toward it. Look, there's the Indian Club. The Indians are my friends. And there's Captain Hook and his pirates, the worst pirates in the world.
We're naughty, nasty pirates. We're as mean as
crocodile, and ever since it was out for revenge on Peter Pan. He tried to capture Peter Pan, but he succeeded this time. The pirate saw Peter Pan coming and got ready for an attack. Peter Pan ahoy! I'm going to get rid of Peter Pan forever! Load the cannonballs! Fire! 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 Peter Pan acted quickly to protect the darling children. He was going to send them to be with other lost children. They were told he also never wanted to grow up. Peter lived with them in the hideout. Tinkerbell, take Wendy and the boys to my home. The lost children will be there. But Tinkerbell had become quite jealous of all the attention Peter was giving Wendy and the boys. She had other plans. She told the lost children Wendy and her brothers were bad, and that they needed to shoot them down when they came near. Peter, who had got away safely from Hook, swooped down just in time to save the darling children, and told the lost children that Wendy and her brothers were his friends, and that they needed to look after them. He was cross with Tinkerbell. She snapped off. Peter wanted to show up his island to Wendy. Come on, Wendy, I'll take you to the Mermaid Lagoon, where the boys can go hunt with the Indians. But the Indians had a different idea. They too thought that John and Michael were bad. They didn't like strangers. They captured them and took them to their chief. Ho! Ho! When Wendy and Peter arrived at the Mermaid Lagoon, they discovered that Hook had just captured Tiger Lily because she was Peter's friend and knew where he lived. Quickly, Peter, quickly! Hook has captured Tiger Lily and he will make her tell him where he lives. She needs you to rescue her. Tell me where Peter Pan lives or I'll make you walk the plank. I'll tell you nothing. Once again, Peter, ever the ladies' man, came to your rescue and fought over Hook. He flew Tiger Lily back to your dad at the Indian camp. The Indian chief was delighted that Peter Pan had brought his daughter safely back home after her ordeal with Captain Hook. As a thank you, he freed John and Michael. As a special thank you, Peter, I promised to guard your home and help find off that dreadful Hook forever. But while they were all celebrating at the Indian camp, Hook's pirates captured Tinkerbell and took her to Hook. He tricked Tinkerbell and pretended to be her friend. He wanted her to tell him where Peter lived. Hello, Lincoln. I hear Peter has given you the yellow and prefers this new girl, Wendy. Hook bargained with Tig, telling her that he would capture Wendy and keep her to be a slave. The foolish Tinkerbell believed Hook and led him straight to Peter Pan's house. Inside the house, Peter was crying because Wendy and her brothers had become very homesick and decided that they wanted to return home. They were just outside Peter's house and were making their way through the forest when Hook came across them and ordered them to be captured. He took them back to his ship where he wanted them to join his crew.
Cool! I've always wanted to be a pirate.
Tinkerbell felt so bad about being Hook to Peter and about Wendy and the boys being captured that she flew back early to tell him the bad news. Peter arrived at the ship just in time because Wendy had refused to join Hook's crew and was walking the plank. Once again, it was Peter to the rescue. You've gone too far this time, Hook. There was a terrible struggle with one last surge. Peter pushed Hook overboard into the void of the crocodile.
Yummy, yummy. in my tummy.
Mr. and Mrs. Darling could not believe their eyes whenever they saw the children slipped up the gate. They'd been so worried. Mr. Darling was about to phone the police to report the missing children. Peter had to let them go back to their parents. He was very upset, but would never leave them. He would go back to his friends, and everyone lived happily ever after.
My dear children, where on earth have you been? I've been so worried.
Do you believe in fairies?